Okay, hello everyone. Yeah, this is the second study under the learning approach. Okay, so it's the study by Fagen et al. Elephant learning. So let's dive into it. Yeah, the background. Okay, now the researcher Dr. Ariel Fagen, a veterinary behaviorist of the American College of Veterinary Behavior. Now, researched his experience. Okay, conducted research on animal shelter and wildlife breeding centers. Okay, subject study objective. Yeah, train captive elephant to voluntarily perform trunk wash for tuberculosis testing. Okay, that is, look at the trunk here. All right, so they want them to be able to wash the trunk, right? So because humans might be able to develop means for themselves to be able to wash important part of their body like that, but then when it comes to animals, they might not be able to effectively perform certain tasks, right? So noticing that, okay, tuberculosis is going on, or let me say it's an issue, all right, it wants to teach them how to be able to wash their trunk, okay, so that they can be able to reduce the level of tuberculosis and purpose reduce stress during tuberculosis testing procedure. Okay, all right, moving forward now, psychology being investigated. There is a concept of positive reinforcement by using banana. We'll talk about that later. All right, so it's a type of operant conditioning, right? Where you reward a particular behavior with something desirable. Okay, yeah. So when they perform the trunk wash movement correctly, each segment of it, they reward them. Okay, now primary reinforcers, that is the main thing that matters to them, which is the chopped banana in this situation. Now, secondary reinforcer is a short blast from a whistle. Okay, so secondary reinforcer is and primary reinforcer, when you pair them together, is more like classical conditioning. All right, because when you blow the whistle, the elephant, you pair these two together. All right, the elephant expect that, okay, you're going to bring a banana. All right, so when you pair these two things, is classical conditioning, and then the banana itself, which happens to be primary reinforcer, now is under positive reinforcement, operant conditioning. Okay, yeah, I think I discussed that in another video I did. All right, yeah, I think it's the other video I did on Bandura, right? Yeah, on Bandura. So I spoke about observational learning, operant conditioning, and classical conditioning. Okay, so yeah, classical conditioning used to associate whistle blast and banana. All right. Okay, so classical conditioning. All right, I think I also have it here. Now, for example, the primary reinforcer, which is banana, which is naturally rewarding, it is appreciated, it is an object of desire. All right, secondary rewarder or reinforcer rather, which is the whistle here, okay, is not necessarily the rewarder itself, but it is associated that each time you hear the whistle, all right, there is a tendency, okay, or let me say most time there will be a banana. However, there could be certain instances that you might not bring the banana, but at least the whistle already becomes something important to you. You know, each time you hear the whistle, all right, it makes you feel happy that at least you're doing something well, you're being appreciated, right? Because naturally, a whistle alone will not give any positive result, right? A whistle is just a whistle, but because a whistle sometimes brought out banana, okay, then you can already perceive that, okay, that shows that whistle is a form of appreciation. Do you get a point? Now, classical conditioning in Fagen et al. Study. Before conditioning, the whistle had no special meaning, right? Okay, during conditioning, whistle and banana are presented together. After conditioning, whistle alone now becomes rewarding, satisfying. Okay, so research method used. Okay, it was a controlled observation using structured behavioral checklist. Right, there were certain behavior they were looking out for. All right, don't forget structured observation. You can check that out in my video on research methods. Okay, so to systematically document elephant responses. What about the research design? Repeated measure design, tracking the same elephant progress over multiple training session. Okay, so it's actually the same elephant, but then they add different training sessions. So it is referred to as this repeated measures. Okay, independent variable now is various cues and offers presented to the elephant during training session. Okay, so various cues, that is, what are the cues that help the elephant execute a particular behavior. We'll talk about that, like trunk hair, okay, stable, and some other things. So there were certain cues that helps once the cue has been given, so the elephant can engage in different segments. So the entire trunk work procedure is broken down into different elements. Okay, we'll discuss that later. Right now, dependent variable training duration from when the elephant is offered the first cue to the last cue. All right, so that is the training duration. Now, numbers of cues, the number of cues made to the elephant by the trainers. All right, success rate for each behavior and sequence. All right, so they look at from the first cue to the last cue. So how long does it take? The numbers of cue, okay, that the elephant need before he exhibit that behavior, and the success rate for each behavior. Did you do the thing successfully or you didn't do it well? All right, so those were the things that were measured. Okay, now grading criteria, individual behavior assessment. Now behavior passes. Okay, the elephant will be believed to have done the behavior well if he show if when correct responses shown for 8 to 10 cues, all right, leads to 80% success rate. All right, so if you show or give some cues to the elephant and then it was able to do the thing, around 80% success rate. Okay, we spoke about the success rate in the dependent, yeah. So for each behavior, the ability to do the behavior well. So all right, if he has about 80% success rate, all right, then he has done it well. Okay, tested on all learned behavior every fifth session from session 10 onward. Okay, now when you learn a particular behavior, when it gets to the fifth session, okay, every fifth session from 10th session onward. Now they started from 10th session. After 10th session, you learn a particular behavior for different session. Now when it gets to 10, they test it. When it gets to 15, they test. 20, they test, like that. Okay, now readiness evaluation. Trainer determines if elephant is prepared now for the full trunk wash task. Okay, so after all the training, they can determine if the elephant now is ready to be able to practice that based on the consistent performance. Now, sequence testing initiation. Once individual behavior achieved 90% success rate, okay, sequence training begins with 80% success rate. All right, criterion. Okay, so now if you're able to do individual behavior is to talk about different segments of the trunk wash. For example, one is trunk here, another one is trunk up, another one is stable, another one is bucket, another one is blow. You put the trunk in the bucket, you blow. So we have all those things. So you should have about 90% success rate on each, and then for the entire thing you should have about 80%, okay, before you be determined, or let me say believed to be what's the word now, to be ready for the trunk wash, right? Okay, now sequence refinement. If full sequence fail, testing reverts to shorter sequence. Like if you engage in the full sequence, all right, the entire thing, and then the elephant fails, they will start again, all right, from the shorter one. Or individual behavior for enforcement. Now, final certification training concludes when elephant achieve 80% success rate on complete 5-step trunk wash sequence. So there are 5 steps. Okay, we're going to look at them shortly. Okay, now what about the sample? There were 5 female elephants from Nepal. All right, age range 4 juvenile, age between 5 to 7 years. Okay, and then 1 adult that was at least 50 years of age. All right, so the adult was actually very old. Okay, now the background, all tame, born in the stable. Okay, non-pregnant, so none was pregnant. Okay, they were born in the stable, and all tame. Okay, they were harmless. They were also there's this they were also they are mahout. Okay, I think the word is mahout, that is those that actually tend the elephant. All right, each of the elephant's mouth was present, okay, to ensure that everything was okay, nothing like any psychological harm or physiological harm, as the case may be. Okay. Now, procedure training, morning session. There were 2 sessions in the day. Morning session, it was from 7:30 to 10 o'clock a.m. I've seen a question around this in the exam. All right, and then afternoon session 4 to 7:30. So you can try to relate this thing if you're a student to maybe your timetable in school. All right, to understand the morning session that was given to the elephant, and the afternoon session, maybe you can relate it to the close of the school hours and the period you go home. Okay, maybe something like that, and what you do at home between 4 and 7, something like that, so that you can engage in classical conditioning, associating one element to another. All right, now location, elephant change in their stalls at the stable. Okay, all right, yeah, these are the 5 behaviors expected. Okay, now this one is the trunk hair, where the elephant places the trunk on the palm of the uh, researcher. The essence is to be able to insert the saline solution in this situation. Okay, they insert the saline solution into the trunk. All right, trunk up, the elephant raises, not exactly like this picture though, raises the trunk up. Okay, so that the trunk will be able to move downward. Okay, all right, I mean the fluid, the water, the solution will be able to move downward. So that's the essence. Now bucket, the elephant lowers the trunk into the bucket. Then blow, the elephant blows the liquid into the bucket. All right, not like this though, blows it into the bucket. All right, and then this one is the steady. Steady actually is to maintain a particular position. All right, so it can be trunk down, you maintain that position. It can be trunk up, you maintain that position. So when the steady clue is given, the elephant has to remain in that position, all right, until the next clue is given for another behavior. All right, so you can understand that with all this behavior, the elephant should be able to wash the trunk as the liquid will flow downward, and then it will blow it away. Okay, now the training method. All right, capturing. All right, this is one, how they were able to get the behavior. There's a concept of capturing. Elephants were encouraged using reward to perform normal behavior. So they were doing different behavior. Now when they do a particular behavior, they capture it and reward it. So if an elephant spontaneously lifted their trunk, which is trunk up now, they capture it, should be given chopped bananas. That is good. All right, so just doing it spontaneously. All right, so they are capturing the behavior to this captured their behavior, making it commonly repeated. So each time the elephant does that again, the reward, so that the elephant will understand that, okay, there is a significance for lifting my trunk. Okay, now another one is luring. All right, you lure the elephant to actually do that thing. Okay, trainer encourage unusual behavior by positioning threat accordingly. You put treat rather accordingly. Maybe you put the treat in the bucket so that the elephant can put um, the trunk in the bucket to learn the bucket behavior. All right, yeah. So luring, if the trainer needed the elephant to stretch the trunk out, they put the treat out of reach to lure the trunk out, something like that. Okay, so these are used to encourage behaviors that may not occur naturally. Okay, um, so another one is the shaping. Okay, so the first one is capturing, the second one is luring, the third one is shaping. Now elephants were rewarded for all behaviors similar to the final goal. Okay, now gradual refinement. Okay, so gradually they were only rewarded for accurate behaviors. Okay, so trying to shape that behavior and pattern it as needed. Okay, now final behavior, shaping their behavior over time to the desired outcome. If you're raising the, or maybe you're practicing blowing but you're not blowing into the bucket, so they try to refine the behavior to ensure that, okay, is blowing actually into the bucket. Okay, so training method, secondary reinforcer, we spoke about that earlier, which is the whistle. Okay, now what is the purpose? This helped them quickly learn the association between their behavior, because the banana and the whistle were paired together instantaneously, so it helps them to learn it together quicker. Okay, sequence training. There is individual behavior. Elephants learn all behavior individually. All right, each of those 5 behaviors, they learn it individually, separately. Okay, verbal cues. Trainer used one syllable, one word to prompt elephant. Okay, so just one syllable for the verbal cues. Okay, yeah, so it's the cues are more like prompts to help the elephant know that, okay, this is what you should do, like the way you speak with your dog, for example, down, up, something like that. All right, so sequence reward. Elephants were rewarded only if they completed the sequence in the right order. All right, so full sequence now, all right, which is the combination of the 5. Now gradually they learn to perform all behavior together. Okay, as they learn individual behavior, now they can begin to practice it all together. Now desensitization. Now how to do the syringe, inserting the syringe into the trunk can be a little problematic because of the sensitivity. All right, however, there was desensitization by gradually exposing the syringe during each step. Okay, um so they did the thing gradually. All right, so to ensure that um the elephants do not react. Okay, so they were doing it gradually. It was a gradual exposure. Initially, I think they put the syringe just into the trunk, they ensured that the elephant was comfortable before inserting gradually. Okay, so now counter conditioning, associating the syringe with the arrival of bananas. Okay, um making the syringe a conditioned stimulus instead of an aversive stimulus. All right, so it's just a way to ensure that the syringe is okay for them, okay, and it doesn't have any negative effects on them. Okay, so steps in introducing the syringe now. The syringe would touch the outside of the trunk. Okay, the syringe will be placed inside of the trunk. The step 2, a drop of fluid, just a drop, right, was injected. Step 4, 15 millimeter was injected now. And then step 5, the whole 60 millimeter was injected. All right, so what is the result? Training duration, it took up to 25 to 35 session. Okay, so elephant learn within this duration. We said after the 10th session, right, they began to test. So the entirety of the thing, it lasted between 25 to 35. So there was a particular elephant that learned the whole behavior just after 25 session. That could support individual side of the debate, right? Okay, so 12 minutes. Average session duration ranged from 10 to 13 minutes. So, all right, that is the range, and then the mean is actually 12. What about average total training time? Okay, the total training time altogether was between 257 minutes to 451. You can calculate it in hours, and this is the average. Okay, so individual results now. Yeah, elephant 5. There was an issue with elephant 5. You remember elephant 5 is above 50, right? At least 50 years of age. So elephant 5 failed. Okay, it failed in the trunk wash activity. All right, it failed to learn the full wash sequence in the time available, and then was not tested or included in results. So the result was not included for elephant 5. Okay, however, elephant 2 and 4 didn't fully learn to do the trunk steady. All right, so they were able to do others, including, remember the behavior, trunk here. You can check them again in the video. There's trunk here, there is trunk up, there is a bucket, there is blue, and then there is steady. But however, they were not able to learn this steady very well. Okay, so success rate increased from 39% after 10th session. Okay, so from 10th session, which they began to test them, all right, so there was just 39% success rate. All right, but when it got to 35, so the elephants 1 2 3 4 averagely have a success of 89.3%. So they passed the 80% success rate, which is good. All right, Now, behavior mastery, trunk in hand here position. It require this particular behavior. It required 295 offers on average to master this behavior. All right. So blowing the bucket behavior required only around 54. All right. I think it's a normal thing for the elephants to blow naturally. All right, blowing water in the river. Okay, so I just guess that that could probably be the reason it was easier to learn this behavior, right? So conclusion, effectiveness. Now, secondary positive reinforcement is effective. Okay, the secondary is the whistle now in training juvenile traditionally trained elephants. So the elephants were traditionally trained initially before introducing the study to them. Okay, so secondary positive reinforcement instead of beating. Okay, secondary positive reinforcement can be used to train them. All right. Now, voluntary participation. Elephants can be trained to voluntarily participate in a trunk wash position or activity rather. So reliability. This method produces reliable results in elephant training. Okay. So operationalized description. What is the strength? There's operationalized description. The behavior checklist add clear operationalized description. So you're looking for the 5 behaviors, so those behavior add clear description. If you're able to do it 80% successfully, however, the rating of 80% now can be subjective, right? But you clearly define the behavior you're looking at, so that is good. Controlled environment. Okay, mouth did not interact with the elephant to take away any form of extraneous variable. So it won't be that okay, the mouth relationship with the elephant was what was influencing them. We want to see if the what's it called, the reinforcement now can be a factor to be used to actually train them. So that was what we want to see. So what about ethical consideration? All right, elephants were allowed to refuse participation, reducing distress and safety. So if the elephants do not want to engage, or let me say go through the session, yeah, there is a possibility for that. Okay, adaptability. Training session were adjusted for elephant 1 to reduce physiological distress. Okay, and ecological validity. All right, data collection occurred in natural setting, so which is good for ecological validity. Now, what about sample size? Okay, only 5 participants, which reduces generalizability, right? Okay, potential observer bias. The observer, the recorder, the person recording the behavior might be biased, right? Okay, so which is a problem. All right, now what about inaccurate timing session? Total training time included unnecessary behaviors, which reduces um, validity. Okay, so there were some behaviors that were during the training time that were not okay, so and that could have extended the training time, which was not accurate. All right, maybe in the process of doing that you were also distracted by another thing as the researcher, so that could have been an issue. What about inconsistent procedure? Okay, reduced testing for elephant 1, which limited reliability of the study. All right, so elephant 1 didn't have enough testing, okay, which could have reduced um, the reliability. How about task difficulty? Elephant regularly failed the steady task, okay, which reduces the validity that the reinforcer could be used to train the elephant. Okay, subjective performance measurement. Elephant's performance was subjectively assessed. All right, so that is another thing. The observers were subjective, so they could use their opinion in rating the success rate, right? All right, individual versus situational explanation. Individual factors, elephant 5 learning challenge. So that could be a factor supporting something about personality, okay, about individual difference, even in the middle of the 5 participants, right? Okay, situational factor. All right, circumstances also impacted learning, notably the presence of young calf entering a store, which could create distraction. All right, so this could also be some situational factor that caused the behavior, or let me say inability to learn. All right, so the last thing here is the application to real world. improved animal welfare. That is good because it can help to improve their welfare, safer veterinary procedures, reduce stress for captive elephants, better tuberculosis management in sanctuaries and zoos, enhance human to animal interaction. All right. So just to make it a safer environment for us. All right. So that is it. You can also comment in the comment section any other way you feel we can apply the study to the real life situation. All right. So that is it. Thank you very much. I appreciate each and everyone that has subscribed to my channel, and I will also encourage any other person that has not subscribed to do so. Please, I really need your subscription, and then you can also check my other videos. Please like them. All right, take care. Thank you very much. Bye.